The Salvation Army is all about doing the most good.
Absolutely. And Lieutenant Jeremy Baker is here with us from the Burbank Corps. And the Salvation Army is really about supporting people with homelessness. You have a variety of programs regarding homelessness, drug and alcohol abuse, and you are at the corners in the holidays collecting and doing things. So share a little bit about the things that the Salvation Army does for the community.
Oh, absolutely. So in general, the Salvation Army, like you said, is about doing the most good that we can with what we have. So we provide drug and alcohol rehab programs for men and women. We have homeless shelters throughout the Southern California area, the greater Los Angeles and Valley area. We have two shelters dedicated specifically to drug and rehab for women and 6 that are for men. All throughout the Christmas season, obviously, we have our bell ringers out. And
you call them bell ringers,
our bell ringers, the ones who go out and collect money.
In the little red bucket.
And that is actually what allows us to provide these services year-round. We give out toys. In the Burbank area this last Christmas, we gave out over 300 toys.
Oh, Jordan wants that
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Over 300 toys to families who wouldn't normally get toys this last Christmas, including 175 bikes that were donated to us.
Wow.
And then all throughout the year, most Salvation Army locations provide food for those who have a hard time making ends meet. You can also find Salvation Army locations in California that have rental assistance, that have utilities and lights assistance. Obviously, we have our thrift stores. Those go to funding our rehab centers that I was talking about earlier. So we have a lot that we're doing, and the Salvation Army's been doing it for 151 years. Wow. So we've been around for a long time. Started in 1865, moved to the U.S. A few years later, and we've been here ever since, and we don't plan on ever leaving.
Are you around the entire United States, or are you located more
like just
towards
in Southern
California? Or?
Actually, the Salvation Army is pretty evenly spread out throughout the United States. In fact, we're in over 127 countries in the world. So, no, we're not just in California. Pretty much anywhere you go, you'll find a Salvation Army. So we're there to help as many people as we can.
How long have you been? How long have you been involved in this?
I've been with the Salvation. I've been working with the Salvation Army for 3 years. Okay. I've been in a part of the Salvation Army for, let's see, I'm 30, so 30 years.
Wow.
My parents worked with the Salvation Army as well, so I grew up with it. I love the Salvation Army. I love what it stands for, its mission. And I don't ever see myself leaving it. So.
Do they ever turn anyone away? I mean, it doesn't matter what faith or if they have a faith. Salvation Army has arms open?
Our arms are open to anybody, and that's actually our mission is to, because we are a church, it's to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ and to meet human needs in His name without discrimination. So we are very, very open to anybody who comes in with a need.
So beautiful. So do the toy drives go year-round?
The toy drives usually start right around Thanksgiving time is when we start with the toy drives. These ones, we actually got a couple of weeks ago, somebody who bought some toys for a grandson, didn't realize it was going to be a grandson, brought them in and gave them to us. So we got, I don't know why they gave us this awesome Transformer, but they gave us what they wanted to give us, and we accepted it.
Yeah, of course.
Somebody will be blessed by it.
So as far as presenting items, gifts, donations, where should people direct their attention to their donations?
The nearest Salvation Army location. If it's items like toys, new toys, food, the nearest Salvation Army location. Pretty much anything that you want to donate, just take it to the Salvation Army. We very rarely will say no. to a donation.
Well, I know me and my family, we've personally given as far as I can remember. We always go to the Goodwill or the Salvation Army, just drop off whatever we don't need anymore that we feel that someone else can use
It's
as
helpful.
opposed to us.
One man's trash is another man's treasure.
Yeah,
And it
well-
obviously funds quite a bit.
Oh yeah,
The Salvation Army.
yeah. And the great thing with the Salvation Army, every donation made to one of our stores, like you said, one man's trash is another man's treasure. For us, one man's trash is another man's second chance to live. So
That's phenomenal.
it's a great thing.
It's a great way to
Lieutenant
look at
Baker,
it.
thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
on with us today. Really appreciate
Thank you for having me.
it. And that is it for the show today.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us. And
Yes.
we want to thank
Kimberlyn
Kimberlyn
Brown
Brown for being on as well
the debate.
as Lieutenant Jeremy Baker with the Salvation Army. And who else do we want to thank?
We want to thank our sponsors.
Absolutely. And how about our fabulous crew?
Yes.
They work very hard.
Absolutely.
And we have some sponsors for the show. We want to thank NGOC Global,
EH
Smile Dots,
Financial,
Smile Agency,
Color Dots,
Color Dots. I got those confused. And
San Gabriel Valley ROP.
there you go. And we also want to let you know about how we're on social media.
Yes.
We are on crowncitynews.com, and you can also find us on Twitter, and you can find us on Facebook for CCN Sunrise, and you can also watch us on television on KVMD Saturdays
Saturdays and
at
Sundays.
6 and Sundays at 5. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate watching. Look at these are so great. This
Now I
is so
finally
fun.
get to shred on this thing.
I-
I've been wanting to. Check it out.
This is going to be a really neat gift.
I know these are
Yeah.
expensive too, so the fact they gave those away,
I
that
remember
says a
when my
lot.
kids were little, this was like the hot toy.
Oh, yeah.
And Santa actually had to write a letter and say that the Easter Bunny will bring it later.
Wow, so I didn't know you guys did stuff for like a rehab facilities. That's
Yeah,
really important.
all of the thrift stores that you see around town, that's what they fund. So all of the money going to that helps with the rehab program. And on this at those locations, 82% of the staff man in those stores. So it's an initiative that we have called